Hi there, welcome to Pop Along RC. I'm Mark. It's just a quick video today just to tell you about some of the things that I use for building the cars and also pre-racing, maybe for setup as well. Okay, so what do we have here? This is a battery checker, a digital one, and the good thing about this is it gives you a percentage. It's so nice and easy to use. That is an essential part of racing. Well, for me it is anyway. I always keep that in my box because sometimes, you know, you got a couple of batteries the same, you're like, oh no man, which one did I just take out of the car? Well, now you know, because you should have one of these. You can get them from most hobby shops. I'll put a link in the description, but a really very handy piece of kit that, so get yourself one. So next on the list of things to get some of these. If you're building your shocks, which, you know, if you're a racer, you should be taking your shocks apart every few races and cleaning them up and stuff. These basically hold the shafts, because sometimes, you know, you can hold them with pliers, but it marks all and scuffs the shafts up, and you end up with scratched shafts, and then it bites into the O-ring, oil leaks out. Get a pair of these, you'll have them for life. These are obviously the core RC ones, they're the cheaper ones, and they are, again, an essential part, certainly for me, an essential part of my kit. Okay, the next thing here, nice little box. This was from the pound shop. For £1, yeah, £1. And of course, you keep all your bits in there. Got a few pinions, a few bits and pieces in there. £1. I won't put that in the description because, you know what? I think most of us, whatever country we're in, have got a pound shop or a dollar shop, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Next thing I'm going to show you, nice and easy. Look at these little tubs here. Obviously, you get your fast food in there, your takeaways and that. Wash them. Use them. Okay, here I got this many years ago. It was on my Christmas list, and this is obviously my best. It's a bit dirty because I've been off-road racing and stuff, but get the idea here. You get the flap here, and of course you've got all your tools in there. There goes the stand. All the tools in here that you will need, plus spare set of nice little tools in there, and a little brush. Never know when you're going to need a brush, you know what I mean? But what is handy is always get yourself a decent set. These are the Fastrax tools here, and they are so good. You know, sometimes it's worth spending a little bit of money. An old friend of mine used to say, buy cheap, you buy twice. So always get yourself a nice decent set of, I won't go in there, of screwdrivers. Also in this wonderful box here is my bits and pieces in here. So hang on, let me just move this here. One of these, this is of course a stand for the car. It has a magnetic strip on here, so when you take your body clips off, you just stick them in there. It's also got holes on the top, and these holes are for rebuilding shocks. So you break your shocks up, stick them in there, nice and easy. I also have in here a mat, a nice little mat. Sometimes when you're pitting, you drop a screw, it falls in these little, it needs a wash actually, but indentations, and then that's quite good as well. Okay, this thing here is what we would call a setup board. Okay, it's actually made of very, very strong glass, and it's as flat as a pancake. And the reason we would use one of these is to check things like ride height. Okay, just to get a really low, see if you can see that. There's absolutely no movement in that whatsoever. Okay, so doesn't bend or flex or anything like that, so you will get a true reading of ride height. Now, before racing, a lot of us will put this stuff on. The Americans amongst you will call it tyre source, but we call it tyre additive here in the UK, and this is a spider grip, and this one's really for asphalt tracks or tarmac. It's quite good stuff, and we just basically paint it on the tyres before the race, and then just give it a couple of warm-up laps, and then away you go, and it really does make a big old difference. So that's essential if you're going to be racing indoors or outdoors. Okay, very essential. If you race at any clubs in the UK, possibly anywhere actually, you need one of these if you're using LiPo batteries here, because if they do catch fire, which they can't sometimes can, then this obviously contains the fire, and it goes no further than in this bag. So that's essential. And you can't race in the UK unless you have one of those. Okay, this is another little setup tool. It's called a camber gauge, and it tells you at what camber your wheel is, obviously for setup purposes, really. Okay, this lovely little piece of anodized blue niceness here, oh, let's focus it up, is a ride height gauge in which you can slip under the car, and it will tell you at what height you're running. Thing is with these cars, really, we have noticed that really you want to get them as low as you can. I'm probably at about 5 mil there, but I do think that it's probably, yeah, it's about 5 with the battery in. Anyway, that's one of those. Okay, here we have this is my membership basically to the BRCA, the British Radio Car Association. That's actually due for renewal very, very soon. Now you need one of these for insurance purposes before you race at any event in the UK. It's quite an important little card, that one. So there you go. Alright, so there we go. That was just a really quick video on some of the really useful bits and pieces that I use for when I'm prepping a car, when I'm building the car, and when I'm racing. Do like, subscribe, smash the old ding dong bell and all that. And if you've got any questions or queries or anything like that, drop them in the comments below. Other than that, we'll see you on the next video.